All right, welcome back everyone for another deep dive. We're always pushing the limits here.
Mm-hmm.
And today, we're going way out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're talking super heavy elements.
Super heavy elements. I love
Those elements at the very edge of the periodic table?
out there on the fringes,
Exactly.
barely hanging on.
I mean, are they even elements?
Well, that's what we're here to discuss, right? I mean, they're so unstable.
They are. They exist for, what, like milliseconds?
Milliseconds is sometimes even less.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So today, we're focusing on one specifically.
Okay.
And that is Moscovium.
Element 115, Moscovium. Sounds like a superhero, doesn't it? It does. But it's synthetic and so heavy.
And decays almost instantly.
Yeah, it makes it really hard to study.
It does. So how are we tackling this? Well, we found this fascinating paper, and it's a bit of a mouthful, but it's called Stabilité du Moscovium, Modèle mathématique innovant.
Okay, so French, obviously.
It's French, but don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm going to break it down.
Plain English.
Plain English, all the way. But the paper is really intriguing because it proposes this new mathematical model to try and explain how Moscovium behaves. And get this, maybe even suggest ways to manipulate its stability.
Now, that's a big claim.
It is.
Messing with stability. That's getting into some serious physics there.
It is.
All right, I'm hooked. Tell me more.
So let's back up for a sec. Why do we even care? I mean, Moscovium, it's here and gone in a flash. What's the big deal about its stability?
Well, you have to think about it this way. These super heavy elements, they're really pushing the boundaries of what we know about, well, everything.
The building blocks of the universe.
Exactly. And understanding how they behave, I mean, that gives us insights into the fundamental forces that, basically govern matter.
So we could rewrite physics.
Potentially. Now just imagine if we could create more stable, super heavy elements.
Now you're talking. What could we even do with that?
The possibilities are endless. I mean, think new materials, super dense materials with properties we haven't even dreamt of.
Like indestructible stuff.
Maybe. Or, completely new energy sources, advancements in medicine.
Wow.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves. First, we got to understand why these elements are so darn unstable.
Right. Back to the paper.
Exactly.
So they're using something called Jacobi equations in this model.
Oh, yeah, Jacobi equations.
I'll be honest,
Yeah.
math is not my strong suit. Can you break those down for us?
Sure. So Jacobi equations are actually used in a lot of different fields. They're great for describing systems with these recurring patterns. Think like planets orbiting a star.
Okay.
Or even simpler, like a pendulum swinging back and forth.
Right.
And in this case, they're using them to describe, how particles might be moving within the nucleus of Moscovium. Because there are patterns in there.
So there are patterns in the nucleus. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the model gets really wild when they bring in time reversibility.
Ah, yes. Time reversibility. Now we're talking.
Isn't that basically like if you could rewind time,
Yeah.
the laws of physics would still work the same way?
Yeah, exactly. So you're picturing it right. And what's amazing is this model, it explores if we could actually manipulate time reversibility, even at a tiny microscopic level to slow down the decay of Moscovium.
Right. Are we talking time travel here?
Well, not exactly. It's more about these fundamental symmetries in physics.
Okay.
Imagine you film, the decay of Moscovium. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Now play the film in reverse.
Right.
Would it look physically possible? Could it happen that way too?
Mm-hmm.
That's the heart of time reversibility. It's checking if the laws of physics still work when time runs backward. And this model suggests that maybe, just maybe, on that quantum level, we might be able to tweak this reversibility and actually influence decay.
Okay, now that is mind-blowing. But how do they even, put all this into a mathematical model?
Well, it's a pretty complex equation, I'm not going to lie.
That's all right, we trust you.
But basically, it combines these recurring patterns that we talked about.
Those oscillations.
Yeah, the oscillations inside the nucleus. And it puts that together with how the atom itself is, changing and evolving over time. And it's in that combination where they think the key to manipulating stability might be.
So we have this equation. What does it tell us about Moscovium?
All right, so get this. The model spits out these results, and they were actually really promising. It shows that Moscovium is at its most stable, right at the moment it's created.
That makes sense.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, right.
Brand new, but then it starts to decay gradually, as you'd expect.
Okay, so far so good.
But here's the kicker. It decays with oscillations.
Oscillations, meaning it doesn't just fade out.
Exactly. It's like it decays, then kind of jumps back up a bit, then decays again, and so on.
Wow.
It's a unique finding. And here's the big takeaway. The model predicts that in the short term, the decay rate actually slows down.
So there's like a window.
There might be this window where it's more stable than we thought. Now, if we could control those oscillations...
We could keep it around longer. That's amazing. So this is all about Moscovium. But I remember you said this could have even bigger implications.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This Moscovium model, it's just the tip of the iceberg, really.
So where else could this lead us?
Well, the paper mentions quantum physics and even string theory.
Wow.
I mean, imagine if we could apply these ideas to quantum computers, for example.
Yeah.
Making them more stable, more powerful.
I mean, that would be revolutionary.
It would. And of course, understanding time reversibility at this level, I mean, that could have huge implications for how we understand other super heavy elements too.
It's like a whole new world.
It is.
So we've gone from this, super heavy element that barely exists to like the edges of theoretical physics with time reversibility. And I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
And that's the exciting part, right?
It is.
There's so much more to discover.
Absolutely. This has been an incredible journey, into the world of super heavy elements. But I have to say, I'm left with more questions than answers.
That's science for you. Always more questions.
It is. But here's one for everyone listening to ponder.
All right, lay it on us.
If we really could manipulate time reversibility,
Okay.
what else could we do? Could we, unlock secrets of the universe that we haven't even begun to imagine?
Now there's a thought to leave you with.
I know, right? It's a big one. But hey, that's what these deep dives are all about.
Making you think.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.